After my horrible theater experience seeing Jurassic Park this past Friday, I decided to make it a point to not make that my final theatrical impression of this fantastic movie, and I did so in 3D. Now, I've been an adamant opposer of 3D for a long time. Everything. The two films I saw, which were shot 3D, were My Bloody Valentine 3D and Final Destination 3D from about maybe like 4 years ago, and they just didn't do anything for me. The effect didn't work to any kind of enhancement to the film or anything. So I mean, ever since then, just like 3D is a gimmick. It's nothing that's is a distraction, not a detraction from the film. It doesn't enhance everything. I've just not been a supporter of it. But you know, I saw 2D on Friday, and the whole thing went to shit. I decided to go to the biggest theater I have around here, which is the Marcus Ultra Screen XL 3D, which is, I think, like 75 feet tall and everything. It's just a big, big theater. I just wanted to have the biggest experience with this film as I could. And it was a 3D. It was only 3D. The theater only had those showings, and it cost me quite a bit of money. Even the matinee was $12, but it was worthwhile. It was worthwhile to see this film in a peaceful, beautiful environment, to get that cherished memory back again, to get that feeling back again that I had 20 years ago seeing this film as a 13-year-old and everything, and just enjoy it for the wonderful film that it is. And I was a little kind of off about going to see it 3D, but I was like, I just want to see the movie. I want to see the movie in a good environment, enjoy myself and everything. And so I took the plunge. I went 3D and everything, and this is a post-converted film, obviously. The film was not shot in 3D. So I do have basically this review is not really about the film itself. I think, obviously, I don't really need to tell you how good Jurassic Park is. It's a fantastic film. It's been around 20 years. It's a major blockbuster. It's a wonderful film from Steven Spielberg. One of my favorite films of his of all time. And just the fact that it's a marvel of a film all the way through. Technically, storytelling-wise, just filmmaking-wise, everything, performances, everything. It's just exquisite film and everything. But the 3D experience for me was this. Well, one thing I have to say is, like, I wish they made 3D glasses with a little bit of a thinner rim. They wouldn't feel so heavy, and they could kind of sit back a little further on the face like sunglasses do. But that's just an aesthetic thing that will work through and everything. But basically, early on in the film, the 3D did feel like a distraction a bit here and there. Just like the first, the first shot of the film just felt like a mess and whatnot. It's just because it's just a bunch of leaves in the foreground, background. It just felt very disorienting and everything. But I mean, the things went along. The 3D is better in some places than it is in others. Basically, in like the first act of the film, 3D didn't feel too great. I mean, there was a few little things here and there, like the real close-up shot early on when they're in the mine and everything, and they get that close-up shot of the mosquito and amber. It looked really fantastic. But I mean, just watching people sit around talking, reverse shot stuff, just people sitting there and talking, wasn't very interesting and everything. I mean, it's fantastically shot stuff, especially when they're in the dinner scene where they have all the projector lights between them. It looks wonderfully lit and everything. But just in terms of the 3D quality, it just didn't really give anything. It just felt kind of monotonous and whatnot, just sitting there watching stuff in 3D, which didn't look all that fantastic in 3D. It just like, because there were a couple 3D trailers ahead of it. There was an animated film, and then they did the Man of Steel trailer in 3D, which looked pretty good here and there and everything, but it didn't jump out too much. But the thing is, when the film gets into the part when it gets into that second act where there's more motion happening, there's more action in the film, there's more things happening, it's more dynamic visuals and everything. That's when the 3D really kind of settles in and starts looking a lot better. I kind of wished a little bit that they had gone back into like the original CGI elements and everything, and just enhanced those digitally to make them pop more in the 3D and everything. But they didn't really do that. They just kind of went right to the film print and did the changes to that. But when it does get more dynamic, more exciting, there's more action going on, there's more movement, there's more dramatic things happening with the framing and the compositions and just what's going on in the frame and everything, the 3D really started getting better. I stopped noticing it more or less. I stopped being conscious of what looks like good 3D, what doesn't look like good 3D, how the glasses felt on my face and everything. Because in the first act, I kept doing something like this, or I kind of go like this, just kind of get a rest from it. And just like, I'll close one eye, close another eye, just trying to get my mind off of it, just trying to get my mind off of deciphering the 3D, how good it was and whatnot. But once it gets into that second act, and you got the stuff where the power's going out in the park, and the T-Rex gets loose, and the T-Rex scenes, the T-Rex attack scenes are still terrifying. They're just amazing sequences. They're just frightening and everything, intense. And in some instances, the 3D does make things a little bit more intense, coupled with, because this year had a much stronger sound system than the last one. Everything was just punched up a little bit more. The sound was up more. So a lot of the dinosaur growls and everything were just more intense. They just jumped out more, and the 3D did help kind of make things pop a little bit more, just kind of jump out at you a little bit more, just make it a little more intense here and there when a raptor would kind of like jump on screen, or there'd be a real tight pushing on a like a raptor or something like that. It just kind of, it did add a little bit more. It made it a little bit more intense here and there. But I mean, like I said, once the film got going, I really didn't even mind the 3D at all. It really started working better and better. There, like I said, some of the 3D is done better than other 3D. Just in terms of what's going on in the frame, how many layers there are in the frame, instead of just like a guy in the foreground and stuff way in the background, where it's just like they didn't really do much with that. Just kind of like they had the guy in the foreground and all the stuff in the background, just kind of like one flat thing. So, but obviously this is the first converted 3D film I've ever seen, and I think it's fairly good. I mean, if you like 3D, I think it's fairly good. If you're not interested in 3Ds and 3D movies and everything, I think if you look online, there is something called a 2D glass. 2D glasses, where I think it, whatever it does with the fields or whatnot that are projected and everything, it kind of reverses them, so you get that 2D image while still wearing a pair of glasses, so you can still do that. I don't know how much those cost, but I do know they exist. But Jurassic Park 3D does come off very good. I had a wonderfully pleasant time seeing this film this time through. I just walked out of the theater being elated, feeling joyful. I just had a good time. I had a smile on my face, just feeling so good about the whole experience and everything, and just recapture what I loved about the film all these years. The CGI still holds up amazingly well. It's still fantastic. It's like maybe 99%. It holds up like 99.9%. There may be a few little things here and there. If you look at it really close, might look a little less than perfect, whatnot. But I mean, I did not have a problem with any of the CGI. The CGI did not go down in any estimation. The dinosaurs still look fantastic, as good as ever. And I mean, if you want to go see this, definitely go see it. I mean, like you can see it back here, I do have the entire trilogy of DVDs here and everything. I obviously love the first one. I like the second one. I think it's an alright sequel. Third one I saw, just felt a little too by the numbers, a little bit too. Didn't really have what this kind of film has, where it has a lot of philosophy, a lot of ideology, just kind of like talking about the ethics of science and everything. Just kind of just dealing with all these ideas and issues and themes and whatnot. Jurassic Park 3 really were just kind of a straight action adventure thing, which doesn't have much substance. It's alright. It's alright. But like I said, I've got the whole thing on the DVD. I could have just sat home and watched, but I just wanted that theater experience one more time the right way, not that whole bullshit of people running around and screwing up my day and everything. This time, plenty of people in the theater, good amount of people, and they were all civil people. They all came there to enjoy the film, have a great time, and I think it was a wonderful experience, and I highly recommend going to see Jurassic Park one more time theatrically if you haven't done so already. Just make sure you get a good theater that's not gonna have a lot of people bitching and moaning and ruining your day. So I did shoot a different video a couple days ago, which I don't know when it'll show up, but it was my top 5 favorite horror movies of all time. It's a long video. It's probably like a half an hour long. I'm still working on it. Don't know when it'll hit, but hopefully sometime next week it'll show up. But I shot did it night after the whole bullshit at the first theater. Just trying to do something more upbeat and everything, but I'll still get it out. It should be a fun video, more laid back, not so much critical analysis, just having fun. So hopefully I'll get that up sooner than later, but we'll see. And thanks again. Bye bye.